So I looked in here to see. I'm still ranked. I'm the 10th best player in Cryptic. Still,
you're top 10.
I am 10.
Let's go,
11th.
dude.
You're 11th, Louis.
I was keeping up. Okay, we're recording. Whoa. Welcome back, everyone, to May the Zoo be with you, and may Josh's
you gotta redo the intro.
ever in your favor.
No, you gotta redo the intro.
We don't redo our intros around here.
Redo the intro.
I am Louis, and I am joined by the man who was right last week. Congratulations. Nobody in the bottom left of the screen has ever been right until last week. Donald being right about the Magic pre-release nights. Congratulations, old man.
Thanks.
You did good.
I mean, you should never doubt me, but you know,
Eh.
I appreciate those.
What else would I do?
I appreciate those in the comments that backed me up.
And I'm also joined by my good friend and yours, the pokey investor himself, Joshua.
You got a mirror in front of you?
I do have a Pokemon.
He does. He does have a mirror in front of him. Yeah, because he is constantly looking at himself. But you know, that's a difference.
I don't know the last time I looked at a mirror. I could not tell you the last time I looked at a mirror. Donald, I'm gonna flip.
That's pretty obvious.
I'm gonna flip your camera around because it's driving me nuts that you're not facing the middle of the screen. There you go.
But then Secret Lab is
gonna be I am on my screen.
Sorry, we're not supporters of Secret Lab anyway.
We might be.
I'll move it.
We're not sponsored by Secret Lab. They have
it's behind it too. So.
They have the logo on everything.
I can't get rid of it. I'll just move my head.
What is up, everybody? We are going to be chatting about a lot of things today. We got where's my list here? We've got a Foundations release in the docket. We've got the lull of nothingness happening other than all the other things that are pumping. We've got Sorcery, big restock this week. We're going to talk about Pokemon grading. Josh is going to show us all his near mint cards, and then we're going to talk about Lorcana. And I hope somebody has a secret Josh today because I don't have one, but we'll figure it out by the end. Oh, I think I've got one. If you guys,
I've been on a YouTube rabbit hole that can very easily be a secret Josh.
All right, we're going to do the secret Josh.
We'll do dueling secret sauces.
Josh's rabbit hole for the secret Josh. All right, and if you want to go shop at KitchenTableTCG.com, do so. And if you get a commander deck and you add a Bastion 100 plus XL, you'll get the Bastion 100 XL for free for every commander deck you purchase. So go do that. That's our little surprise for the podcast viewers right now. And let's get into it.
Let's really get into it this week. I'm sick of us softballing everything in.
This is kind of week 3 of Foundations, isn't it?
A little bit. It's really hard to really get into it when all the spoilers are out. There's preview season and then there's release season, and it all feels like it was over 3 weeks ago.
Well, we had Foundations release. We put like 43, I think, players through Foundations pre-release this weekend. Everybody loved it. Like the end of if I had one sentence to say about Foundations, it's that everybody loved it. That's it. It's like mwah, perfect Magic the Gathering. Nobody was like, oh, I don't like the mechanic. Nobody was like, oh, I don't like the theme. No, everybody was just like, hey, I had a blast playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, and my take was, you better love it. You better like it. You better embrace it. Because this is the most Magic that Magic is going to be for some time. Because in 2025, it's Universes Beyond and Outlaws of Thunder Karlov Manor Light all year. This is the most magical experience you're going to have, so hold on tight.
But the nice thing is Foundation is going to be in the ecosystem throughout all of that, which is good. And anytime you want, you should be able to play Foundations.
100%, but historically, as a larger community, we don't go back to sets. I know small pockets will redraft old sets here and there, but we don't go back very often. Especially with this many releases. If
this actually does give a revitalization into Standard, like we've been talking about for 2 years, but if this actually is the catalyst for 2 years, we've been saying there might be catalyst, then like Foundations is going to have a huge impact on Standard. Like it's going to be...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that people are going to want to draft it. Like that's a whole different story, and it's honestly concerning that they're going to keep it in stock for 5 years, because as a store you should be concerned, because You're not going to be able to sell boxes of this for 5 years. Now, the singles that are played in standard will sell, but like people aren't going to show up 3 years from now and be like, I'd like to buy a box of Foundations because I'm playing standard.
Let's go down that rabbit hole first before we get into anything else.
Donald's rabbit hole this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I keep hearing that, and I actually think it's super interesting. Distro is out of play boxes. Both of my reps are out now. They have them in other warehouses. They're not like, hey, we're out of boxes, you're out of luck. They're like, hey, we can move boxes around, we can get them. Like, it's a thing. But like the sell-through rate of Foundations play boxes, collector boxes are gone. The sell-through rate from Distro of Foundations play boxes was higher for my warehouses, at least, than anticipated. And so it's interesting that like that was my attitude too, of like, this is going to be fully available for 5 years, yet they ran out of boxes. And this is one of the things I want to say is like, yes, it being reprintable doesn't necessarily mean it won't have any value, and doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to be able to get it at distribution. If you look at Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, that set is at least 3 years old, right? I think that's 3 years old. It would have been one of the first. It's coming
up on it if it's not 3
years. It's at least 2.
Yeah, it would have been one of the first standard sets that I did as a store. So it should be about 3 years old. And they still have set boxes. They just did a huge restock of set boxes. So like 5 years in stock is not that much more than your average Magic the Gathering product.
That was also a different time, right? We were Pokemoning our printing a little bit back then, right? We were just kind of willy-nilly throwing everything at the printer and seeing what stuck.
Yeah, but like they've ran out of. My point is like for Kamigawa, they have run out of boxes that you haven't been able to order it for 2 months, and then all of a sudden it's back on the tickets. And then
but what's the demand of a person walking through the door today and saying, I want a Kamigawa Neon Dynasty box? Like,
the demand from like online and like the gold wizards in my Discord server who flip product and crack open product is huge. Like,
that product is really good.
Probably the number one selling box for me from the gold wizard program of last month. Either that or Jumpstart 2022.
So, but just to touch on kind of what got us down Donald's rabbit hole in the first place. Donald's take like, hey, you shouldn't count on this as a store. Much like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, the beauty of something like Foundations and the Magic release cycle is you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to count on Foundations to carry you past Q1 of, right at the beginning of Q1 of 2025. You're going to get a new set, a new product. What a product like this does do is fill in those gaps. I mean, you talked about Donald, you're a player too. You're a player first, right? The beauty is in that little bit of downtime with Magic, there's not much, if any. But when there is a lull, it's a set you can go back to and be like, yeah, that's what we want to draft tonight. That's why we've done 3 drafts of the new set. We're on to something else. I think that's where something like this really does shine.
Yeah, but I'm speaking less to count. You're saying counting on it as a store. I'm speaking more towards being stuck with it as a store. Like
we're not
a year from now, when you have to order 100 boxes of Foundations,
but that's never
to get something else.
I don't think that will ever be the case.
Yes.
Very rarely, unless this is Pokemon, does Distro be like, very rarely is there a Magic product hot enough for Distro to be like, you know what, we're going to give you 1 box of this if you buy a case. Now that is become the norm for Pokemon. This week they had a restock, and in order to get a case of booster boxes that are $110 on TCG Player, you had to buy a case of Paldea tins. Like, it's crazy. It's like it's absolutely
but even then, it's not Paldea booster boxes, it's Paldea tins. You could tell me a story where Magic says you have to buy our theme decks or our bundles, right? If you have a super hot product, but never the booster box.
Yeah. So like I don't know that they would do something like that at the Distro level. I think Foundations, from a long-term perspective for me as a store, is something I would want to almost always have a case or maybe 2 cases on hand, just because like it's a product that people who want to dabble in Magic are going to go back to. It's never going to be an expensive box. I don't if you're a sealed investor, I would not touch this product for 4.5 years.
But
the big
play box or
play box collector
okay.
boxes. I'm talking play box. We can talk about collector boxes in a second.
Okay.
I think the bigger fear for foundations is going to actually be the singles being cheap.
Yep.
Because there are only 20 mythics in the set. Absolutely baffles me. There are only 20 mythics in the set. There's not like a big amazing land cycle.
That shocked me that there's not a big land cycle.
Yeah. I just think like there's not the long-term reason to come back to this set in terms of a bunch of big hits or something that you want. I think the real sell point for this is simply like you want this because you're a newer Magic player. You want this because you're an old Magic player that wants to draft the classics for the play box. Now the collector box we can get into because I think the collector box is like huge, surprisingly hit, but
I don't want to leave the play box quite yet because if Wizards of the Coast does what they want to do, which I want to let's check the temperature of the room on the podcast. Anyone think that Standard's coming back in a wildly meaningful way in a short amount of time?
No, I think this is going to take a long time.
Okay, Donald?
But I do think this is a good direction.
Yeah, yes. It's steps. But Donald?
Not in paper.
Okay.
It might see an uptick on Arena, but not in paper.
Agreed.
Ooh,
I agreed. 100% agree. We agree across the board. So if this does what Wizards wants it to do, though, the value here is a new archetype becomes popular in Standard. Now you have to go back to Foundations, either to the singles or the sealed product to find the card that was 25 cents. That's now $2, right? Because you need 4 of it for your deck, right? There's a new piece of the color pie that's popular in Standard, so you need a staple. Green couldn't take off in Standard. Now we need our Llanowar Elves, right? Yeah. And Llanowar Elves is a bad example. It's kind of whatever.
Never going to be $2.
Yes. My point is, the hope is, as this is the Foundation, and they introduce new sets into the ecosystem, they change what's good, what's playable, what's not good, right? That rotation should help this. Now, it's not going to happen because you're not going to bring Standard back fast enough for that to be meaningful.
I think Foundations does more for Pioneer than it does for Standard.
Oh, see, you rookie.
It's not
rookie
a good format.
You brought up Pioneer on the podcast. Rookie.
Pioneer's a fantastic format.
Now you have to get. Oh, I'm aware. It's amazing, but now you have to get screamed at for a couple weeks.
I think all these are great formats. I think Wizards just let them slip for too long, and there's not the critical mass.
The problem with Pioneer is it came out a month before the pandemic.
In the pandemic, yeah.
It never had a chance. Yeah. Like I went to one Magic Fest before the pandemic hit and played in Pioneer, and it was.
Was that a super spreader event?
Was it a what? Was
that a super spreader event? Are you?
Yeah, probably.
Is it Donald's fault?
No, I'm immune to COVID, but I have the antibodies.
Are you immune to COVID?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Stop. We're not doing this on the
It's not my channel. Donald, tell me all about how you're immune to COVID.
This is getting quickly into the live stream I was doing the other night, and somebody in the comment section said, "Louis, I don't want to get political or anything, but can you tell me what you think your thoughts are on as a business perspective about Trump winning the election?"
And you're like, not with a 10-foot pole.
Political or not? What do you mean? How do I not answer that politically?
Nope. I wouldn't touch that with your take on your channel. Like, nope.
I did not answer, and I will continue to not answer.
See, this is what 4 years on YouTube gets you.
Yeah, avoiding everything,
dodging it. You've literally been through this scenario.
I think Foundations will be a good set to revisit for limited. I mean, I could see this being like an every 6 weeks or so we draft Foundations, maybe like even like a secondary draft for people if one draft sells out, something like that. Are we ready to move to collector boxes? Because I know I am.
Yeah.
Dude, all right. The supply of singles is so ridiculously low, particularly on like the high-end stuff from collector boxes. It makes me like, I know it's like not official release yet, but any high volume seller on TCG Player has cards listed already. Like,
yes,
like anybody who is like running their business as like, hey, we're gonna crack open our allotment. But like there's one Llanowar Elves fracture foil. One. Just there is not two. Not a play set. There is one showcase fracture foil Llanowar Elves. there's 8 doubling seasons. There's 4 bloodthirsty conquerors, which is that card, dude, wrecked me so
This
bad.
might be an argument against the limited environment.
This card,
a 2-card game-winning
wrecked
combo in
me.
limited is a little rough.
Dude, is that $200 for the foil? Oh man, I might buy that later. That card is so good.
It's
For
so
what?
cool.
You don't play Magic?
Yes, I do.
You play Commander. You don't play
card-
Magic.
This would go perfectly.
Yeah.
I have that time Ikra commander deck. That's the partner. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong.
Timra.
Not to get
Weaver.
political, but what nationality is that name?
I don't know what it is, but it's the
Yeah.
life. It's like life gain, life loss deck. It's sweet,
Well, because doesn't that end the game?
dude.
It's-
They put combos in the set. They put combos in Foundation. Somebody won a game in my pre-release doing one of the combos.
They put a 2-card combo.
Yeah, so
Well,
I read
they didn't put that in there. They don't play test their sets.
No,
They
that's
didn't
not
know it was
true.
there.
You took the bait. So I read a whole tweet thread with one of the
You read a
designers.
whole tweet?
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I worked really hard. I was
Look
like,
at you go.
And didn't have pictures.
One of the designers was talking about they wanted the new Magic the Gathering player to be able to experience a combo and walk away being like, oh, I didn't know Magic was that like capable. I didn't know you could go that deep. It's not really that
They
deep.
say that after the players discovered the combo, and they're like, "Oh man, we got a save face here."
Buddy,
My 5-year-old daughter who has never played Magic could discover that combo.
buddy, that's not
Exactly my point.
This is not
Exactly my point. How did Oko get printed? They
Is
don't
that-
play test their
This
sets.
is not a good take by you.
That one's fair. Oko's fair. The combo in limited is not. So that is a classic "May the Zoo be with you" exaggeration.
Yeah, that is
You're
a class.
You're fitting right in.
At the clouds. You did it.
You might not be a guest anymore after that one.
You're just a regular.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Anyway, the singles environment for Foundations seems like people are not cracking. Even like mana foils, they're 1 per box.
And they look so good.
A mana foil Liliana Dreadhorde General is not that rare. There's only 12 of them listed. Like there's 1 per box. Like it's not like not one of those per box, but like there's 1 mana foil per box, and there's only 20 mythics. Like,
But it's also a scenario where they, hate to say it, but they correctly printed the collector box. Now, we mentioned Kamiga. We invoked the name of Neon Dynasty already. So buyer beware. It just seems like this is how a collector box release should go. Those cards that you're seeing in pre-release should be rare and coveted. Right?
I agree.
That's not even officially out. They should be rare and coveted right now.
TCG player needs to get their act together. TCG player needs to add under printing. You need to be able to say not just foil and non-foil. Now they need to add mana foil,
Texture foil,
showcase foil.
There'd be so many categories.
No, I alone have paid enough money in TCG player fees to cover their development cost for that crap.
I don't know. It's a
and
whole
while you're at
recategorization of their
While
data.
you're at it, use my TCG player affiliate link when you guys go and shop on the Black Friday sales, please. It's in the link of my comment section, or it's in the link of my description of my video.
It's in my comment section.
But
Don't go in there.
they have to add, because like if you are looking up a price of a card, or you want to know like what's the best card in the set, you have to go to like page 8. I'm on page 3 right now. You have to go to like we'll see page 4 to get away from the mana foils. It's insane. Here you go. Bloodthirsty Conqueror non-foil. There's only 22 listings. There's only 20 mythics in the set. Extended art Bloodthirsty Conqueror, not a very hard pull from a collector box. I pulled 2 of them in 1 box on my camera 3 days ago. There's only 22 listings. It's crazy.
Don, did you catch that? He made sure to use his camera this time.
Yeah.
So this is the scary part, right? Because like this feels, from a collector box perspective, this feels right. This feels correct. It should be coveted. It should be expensive. It should be something that people want. Isn't this about when WotC's it up?
And does what, like a big reprint?
Yeah, like there's a bit, or there's, Foundation's special Christmas edition, which is Lord of the Rings 2.0, but has different versions of the foil. Do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't it feel like there's a lot of opportunity?
That's going to happen. There's been there's been no conversation about that from Distro, at least.
But just an example, they do something to devalue their own collectible product that they just created.
Now, like a restock would not surprise me, because if you think about this as a standard set,
sure,
typically even Wilds of Eldraine and Bloomburrow, I got a restock of I think I was able to get like a master case or something like that. Like,
yeah.
So is it not to be assumed that the collector boxes will be available for 5 years too?
No.
So that's the big debate.
Have they said that though? I mean,
they never.
This is but this is uncharted territory.
So this is where I think you are hyperbolically thinking of the 5-year statement. My point with the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is like there's not really that much difference between what is already happening with standard sets and Wizards' 5-year statement. Like it's not that much of a difference. Like Kamigawa is still available.
Yeah, but are the collector boxes still available?
No.
Exactly. That's my point. So why
would these be available?
Why? I don't know. Because it's Wizards and
yeah, but they've been really good about this.
Their collector box print runs have been bruto.
They have honed in, and even like Bloomburrow, Duskmourn. I don't think I got a restock of Duskmourn collector boxes. I haven't looked this week. They may be available.
It's the stability that gets me, because I'm with Donald on the 5-year plan, right? I understand that it's not much different than their current standard plan, but by explicitly stating it, you do set some expectations there. With never stating it on another product, there's no expectations. They can stop printing it. They can print it whenever. They've now set some expectations, right?
Yeah, but like it was also not. It wasn't really verbalized. I'm trying to remember it, but I don't think it was verbalized as like, "Hey, we're going to keep this in print for 5 years." I think it was verbalized.
Yeah,
this is going to be in standard for 5 years. It's going to be legal for 5 years. And then we have taken that to be like it's going to be in print. I agree, it's going to be in print. Play boxes are going to be in print in 5 years.
For at least 3.
Yeah, but I don't think that means like anything for collector boxes. And frankly, the market doesn't think that means anything for collector boxes. Like 24 average sales a day on TCG Player. That's great
for an almost $300 box.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like. The market has fully gone in on this. I mean, this is gonna be a $300 box in a couple. Certainly by the end of the Black Friday sale, it'll be a $300 box.
And we're not seeing what we've seen traditionally. Looking back, over the last year with Magic sets and their releases with Foundations, and this is the one set you would expect to see it. This is the one set you'd expect to see that massive value dive.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that.
And
that's what we said. That's what we've been, surprised at, right? It's like this is doing better than we thought it was going to do.
Yeah, the consistency was not on my radar by any stretch of the imagination. That was just not something I thought was going to happen.
Dude, the fracture foils look so good. I am like, the comment section is going to not like this. So I have my Pauper Elves deck, and like I have 7th edition foils in it. My Pauper Elf deck's original foils. Do I take the 2 Llanowar Elves out and replace them with fracture foil? Because like
the rule is.
Better question is, why are you only running 2 Llanowar Elves?
Because you run the other 2. Because there's that Elvish Mystic, any of the 1-drop elves. Because there's that one card in Pauper for a while that like destroy all cards with the same name or whatever. So you have to spread out. I don't remember what the card was. I didn't do the deck list.
Echo and Decay, but
I didn't make the deck list. I copied it off the internet, and that's what the guy said.
You only run 4 mana dorks total?
Yeah. 1 drops? Yeah.
I guess it feels different. Anyway, this is a whole different subject.
My Pauper Elf deck makes plenty of mana, trust me.
Yeah.
What's the rule? Doesn't it have to be? Isn't it just the most expensive version of the card? It's not the coolest.
Original foil.
Favorite.
Original foil was the But like, I just want an excuse to buy
He
it.
went with whatever was the most expensive foil,
Gotcha.
No, I went with original foil. That's what I did. It's all
which
original.
was in turn the most expensive.
Yeah, like so for like the what's it called? The Priest of Titania. It's the DCI promo. Because that's the foil. Anyway.
I think the best Llanowar Elf printing is were they Store Champion or Game Day, whatever they called it. It's kind of like the full art treatment. I just sold you 4 of them, so you
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You probably have them. I think you should use those. But
I don't know. I'm blown away, and the play booster box being as stable as it was. I can't stop. That's the thought that keeps me up at night. Is I have said 3 or 4 times on the internet that this play booster box has to come down in value. It does not behoove Wizards of the Coast. But the fact that it hasn't happened yet was not on my bingo card. I would have guaranteed it would have happened by now.
I would have too. I mean,
I would have been very, very wrong.
The surprising thing for me is Jumpstart. Like the singles on Jumpstart are insane. I bet you the EV of a Jumpstart box is like $250
because it's the Commander product.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There are like, and there's anime cards in it. Like it's crazy.
The anime cards were a big hit the last time when Dominaria Jumpstart. Those were, but they didn't I don't think they were as big as what they are this time around. Like as the cards aren't as desirable.
That was also in a tainted era of Jumpstart. That was after they started overprinting, like every set had a Jumpstart. Yeah. And they introduced
but that like
get you back involved.
The actual Jumpstart product is I wish they would have done a different name for the Dominaria Jumpstart and the set Jumpstart.
They just shouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
they that too. They shouldn't have done it. But like the actual Jumpstart 1 and 2 are such a different product than those things. But
interestingly, the tag for this card is J25, like the set number for Jumpstart Foundations. It's not FDJ or whatever. Like it doesn't have any. I actually think that this was supposed to be a completely separate release, and they just brought it into Foundations.
Or they're just considering Foundations Core Set 25. Which is what it would have. If it wasn't called Foundations, it would have been called Core Set 2025.
You guys kind of wish it was called Core Set, just because I'm a boomer.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
We all know it. We all know it.
I wanted to see, 12th edition.
What is it?
11th edition. I wanted to see, like, let's,
is that the last 2022.
21, I think. I don't think there was a 22.
I don't remember
because it comes out the year before, so it came.
The last one was came out in 20, right? 2021.
2021 was the one,
or 2021 was the one. Wasn't that the last core set?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was when collector.
Yeah, because it was right before the pandemic. There was no core set in the pandemic.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought it did pretty good, and I think Foundation is going to do good. But I agree with some of the things you guys are bringing up. Let's move into the lull because we don't have a product until Innistrad Remastered, unless they surprise us with unless they surprise us with your Foundation special limited exclusive unbelievable.
That is in no way a prediction. But I do want our Sorcery fans in the audience to cover their ears. So we're about to talk about a lull for like 2 to 3 months, and I know that hurts a lot of feelings out there. So maybe skip ahead 10 minutes, do whatever you got to
do. So this is like a lull. This is like how it used to be, though. Like
this is a normal
3-ish months between product.
It's not 3, is it?
It feels like that. I don't know.
I know that's because we're used to getting a new product every month. We talked about this last year.
I think it's only 2, but still,
it's
a long time. It's a long time in Magic standards.
Yeah, exactly.
It's at the end of January, so it's like
like
2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like a lull, and it just goes to show that, man, if we just get beat in the head with something over and over again, like the rapid release cycle, sooner or later we'll just come to expect it.
You just get used to it.
Yeah, you just come to expect it. You're like, what 2 months. What am I?
But also, like, it gives you a chance to breathe, and then it can do two things. One, it'll give you a chance to breathe, and then you're excited about the next set because it's that anticipation of not having it. But then also, for all of us boomers, you can be like, man, I miss when I had 3 months to play with these cards before it was all irrelevant.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe it feels like more of a lull because Foundations was a like core set, right? Like I don't know. In my brain, I was like, this set's not really that, like, not really going to be there. I disagree with that thought process now that we are seeing how good it is. But I kind of looked at Duskmorn and I was like, oh, the next real Magic set is Innistrad Remastered. But
So-
I don't know. I'm not even that excited for Innistrad Remastered either, to be honest.
Well, Donald,
where you
you
gonna pull a Liliana of the Veil? Ooh,
want to bet on how much it's going to be, Louis?
$5.
Dude, if they reprint Liliana of the Veil again,
They have to. It's
Yeah,
like
It
the
100.
biggest card in Innistrad history.
It's 100% going to be reprinted.
it'll be a $3 card.
Your chase cards are going to be Liliana of the Veil and Snapcaster Mage.
No way.
Buddy, all they have to do, first of all, Snapcaster Mage, little mini comeback. Sneaky little mini comeback.
You've seen a little bit of play in Modern.
Little mini comeback.
It's
But,
still a $10 card, but you know.
yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'll take it.
Liliana of the Veil's down to $13.
I guessed 18, so I'm happy. That's not bad. That's
Well, I
not
said it
bad.
would never be under $20. That was
No, I think you said it would never be under 40. I think you went with 40.
dude. Dominaria United was a weird.
Was a
Yeah,
lot.
I just sold you my Double Masters Liliana of the Veil box topper that I had a chance to sell for like $300.
Yeah.
Back before they.
We've all been there, my friend.
That used to be like the best pull you could have in a card.
Yeah.
Like the box topper Ultimate Masters. Like I remember that's when I started watching Rudy. Like that's when I got back into Magic was because of Rudy's Ultimate Masters. I would be like in the gym working out and watching Ultimate Masters box openings.
I still do that from time to time, have one going on in the headphones, and I'm like, if anybody knew.
The best parts are like when he's like, Ultimate Master is going to be a $500 box by the end of the month. And then like you pull it up now, 8 years later, and it's $325.
Him and George should maybe not call prices on products we like. Maybe him and George should take a
Poor
back
guy.
seat.
Poor
Because
guy.
I want to drive us back on topic because Donald, you said something interesting, right? It drives this hype, this idea like, hey, I haven't had a product, and now the next thing comes out, and I want it. We seem immune to that, like the wait time being what drives us to a product. And to use a sad example that I thought was going to go better than it did is Ravnica Remastered, releasing right at the beginning of the year after a crazy hype end of the year, going into what was going to be a highly anticipated year of Magic. This product flopped and was not well received. The value of on a per box basis is fine because they didn't print a ton of it, but we as a community didn't like go after it in a way that I thought we would, and that surprised me too.
Well, and it wasn't a great play experience either.
I disagree.
No. Some of the best sets in Magic history are Ravnica sets, and that set just didn't have that feel to it. It just didn't. I don't know. It just wasn't. It didn't feel as good as a Ravnica set.
So I think that's fair when you played the real thing. Like the remastered set's never going to feel the exact same that it was. Like, but think about all the people who didn't get to play, a Ravnica block who now play Magic.
Yeah,
people whose back don't
I
hurt
guess.
Donald.
That's a big win. So we did. It's funny. We at Ravnica Remastered the week before Ravnica Remastered came out, we did a draft that was a Ravnica block draft. So you got one pack from. I think we did Return to Ravnica, Gatecrash, and Dragon's Maze.
That's how drafts used to work.
Yeah, and we had I think 18 people for that draft. Like it was insane. Like we had so many people because everybody was so excited to play.
Do you remember that when a block was 3 products and you got a pack of each? Like when the block finished and the first draft was you got a pack of each. It was like,
Yeah.
oh.
So they even did it back when they were doing 2 set blocks. I mean, and that was still a fun draft. 2 and 1 in a draft. I mean, But
Man,
So I think one of the problems I have with Innistrad Remastered is it feels like we just did Innistrad with Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, and like you guys are saying, like the big hits from Innistrad don't exist anymore.
yeah, they're going to have to pump the thing full of a bunch of commander cards, which then doesn't feel like an Innistrad set. Which,
yeah,
like that's
exactly what's going to happen with every Magic product play.
Yeah, but it like people Innistrad.
Can we give Donald the Eeyore tag now? I feel like
a little
Donald's
bit,
the Magic Eeyore
today.
guy.
You had a rough day today, man. I'm feeling the Louis in you.
He's got the Magic Louis Eeyore vibes from 2 years ago that I had.
I even wore my backwards hat today.
I shouldn't have started I shouldn't have started the podcast with the Lorcana sales data. That might be on.
I felt like last time I didn't hit the douchebag expectation, so I wanted to step it up a little bit.
Hold on. This is a trading card game podcast where we spend far too much money and time on cardboard toys. What part of this is douchebag?
I just mean like Louis as a person.
Be careful.
Oh, that's okay.
Careful,
I'm in.
One time, because of my backwards hat, somebody called me an Ash Ketchum wannabe, and I didn't know how to handle that. I was like,
thanks.
I was like, I think I agree with you. I think I would absolutely.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be?
I do want to be the very best.
Yeah, that kid's got some grit. He's got good talent.
He's a little whiny. Me and my daughter are watching season 1 together right now on Netflix.
Yeah,
little whiny.
Yeah, it's okay. His dad wasn't around, man. Give him a break. This kid's like 7 years old. No dad.
Remember that thing that we're not touching with a 10-foot pole? Yeah. That's right. I'm not touching your dad with a 10-foot pole, bud. Sorry.
I'm not. Never mind. I have a great one for that. I'm going to leave it alone.
I tried. That's a lob. Finish it.
No. Anyway, where were we? I don't remember what we were talking about. Now I can't think. Stop.
So I'll get you back on topic.
Hold on. All right. I was going to make a joke. No, I can't stop thinking about Josh's dad's.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, while the 12-year-old sorts of stuff out over there. So Innistrad is one of the, I don't know how this became an Innistrad discussion, but it is now. Innistrad is revered as one of the best, original Innistrad is one of the best drafts in Magic history. Most beloved drafts in Magic history. If they don't, the expectation is higher than a Ravnica Remastered, I think. If they don't knock it out of the park with Innistrad Remastered, it's going to be rough, as that is our first set coming back after 3 months.
So I disagree with you on multiple fronts, but Louis, do you want to go first?
I see. Like, I think I disagree with him too.
Damn it!
I love Innistrad. I don't think of Innistrad at the same level as Dominaria or Ravnica for Magic the Gathering. Like
original Dominaria, like what do you mean? You mean the Dominaria?
The Dominaria
actually
block.
Called Dominaria?
No, the Dominaria block is literally the beginning of Magic the Gathering.
Like Ice Age and all that. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Did you draft that? No, you didn't draft that. You weren't even born yet. So
he might. He's rich.
That's true. He probably does it every weekend. But still, like if you polled the entire Magic base, I guarantee you Innistrad would be in the top 5 of best draft experiences of all of Magic.
That might be fair, but you said better than Ravnica and better than Dominaria, and I don't know if that's. So, I don't know if that horse.
I didn't mention Dominaria. I mentioned Ravnica.
We have to quantify what he said, because what he said is true. It just doesn't make it better, but what he said is true. The 5% of people who who play Magic the Gathering currently and drafted in Innistrad.
You're making Donald and I feel older and older.
Will care about drafting Innistrad. I agree with you, Donald. Those 5 people will care, but those people don't exist anymore. Like Magic is what people are looking at when they think Innistrad is like the whole plane. Is it going to be a fun experience to engage with the hobby on Innistrad? Nobody, well, that's not true. 5% of people are going to be like, oh, this wasn't as good of a draft experience as I had when 20 years ago when the kid across me wasn't born yet and I was drafting Magic the Gathering. Like,
Why do these shots have to hurt so much
I'm
right
just
now?
saying, like, to say like that's why the set's gonna fail, because the old people are gonna be
It's
like,
not what I said.
man,
I didn't say anything about the set failing. I said
back in my day, drafting Innistrad was so much more fun than it is now.
let me explain it to you like you're 5. We're talking about the lull in Magic between Foundations and the next set is Innistrad. If Innistrad is not a fun draft experience, then it's going to make the lull feel a lot longer until the next set, because you're not going to want to go back and play it again. And it doesn't add anything to standard. It doesn't. So like, it's literally just for drafting.
Sure.
And if it's not a fun draft experience, then what's it for? I mean, there's going to be no value in the set.
It's a master set. There's
going to be no value in the set.
Well, like Edgar Markov's in the set.
No, you don't know that.
I literally do know that.
Yeah.
Edgar Markov is being reprinted in that set.
And 50% know that as a serialized card with a different art for the serialization.
It was the one they used, and they are doing different art for serialized cards, right?
Yeah. So like, there's that, and additionally,
so the collector box will be. I don't care about collector boxes. I'm talking about as a player. That has nothing to do with the collector box has nothing to do with players.
Can I toss you guys a classic Made a Zuby with you? What if?
I'm scared, but sure.
So for Foundations, we said this is nothing but reprint set. This is just going to be a bunch of core set reprint.
Oh, boo! Nope, you're wrong. This is horrible. Don't do it. Don't say it into a microphone.
What if they bring in new Commander staple type cards into a remastered set and throw that out as like Innistrad themed like big hit cards?
No, I don't think. I think the remastered.
There's a special guest slot in this that are 15 Commander staples rebranded as Innistrad classic Innistrad locations. That you can get your 15th reprint of Doubling Season in Innistrad because it is now the vampires' blood drinking room. I don't know.
I mean, they might have to do that to put value into the set.
That's
they honestly might have to.
But we're coming at this as
Edgar Markov has never been printed in any Innistrad set. Right. So I mean,
right.
So the better hot take there, Louis, is there's a Commander product that comes with this, and you get 4 decks, but they're made from all Innistrad themed cards.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the better take in my opinion.
Frankly, if this doesn't have a Commander product, then we don't have a Commander product from Duskmourn all the way to the racing set. That's like what, 4 or 5 months?
It's kind
of every Magic product's a Commander product.
That's kind of exciting. It's a little exciting. Can we go back to the fact that you thought this was like Ravnica was, or this is going to like hold up better than Ravnica?
Me?
No, did I miss that, Donald? Do you think this is going to hold up better than Ravnica?
This is what I'm saying. What he actually said was that the draft experience of Innistrad was better than any draft experience in Ravnica.
Yeah, but
you have to understand that I don't care about the value of a box. I don't care about the pre-sale numbers. I don't care about a collector box. I only care about the play experience
of 5% of people.
And that is literally all that I care about in a Magic product.
But the play experience for Ravnica Remastered was literally celebrated. Like, people loved that play experience. Same thing with Dominaria Remastered.
So,
right?
I don't know, man. I don't like it when I disagree with both things that are being said. I don't know where I fit here. I don't have
you don't play Magic and you don't play Magic, so like I don't know.
Neither of those are true. Very, very. You want to compare collection sizes?
Wow, really? On the podcast?
Yeah, I know you say I don't collect Magic.
But you have to use not your store.
I don't have a store.
I don't think that's true.
My store doesn't have a collection.
The store's money's paid for a collection.
My store's got a bunch of sealed product that's going to be up on the Black Friday.
Money's paid for a collection. I've been there when the store bought some cards.
Yeah, the store's bought a lot of things. They're video.
This is what isn't this
called advertising?
Unnerving? This is insane. He just said that didn't happen.
Somebody said, "Is it worth it to have a YouTube channel?" I was
no,
like, well,
it's fine. It's okay.
Did they not watch your video on why no one should do YouTube channels but you?
Did I say that?
I think that's a good video. If you haven't made that video yet, that's a good video to make.
What was I saying? Oh, I don't know. No one has ever really been like, "Hey, Louis, can we draft Ravnica Remastered again?" Like, I don't know. People didn't like they liked it, but it wasn't like I'm not sure anybody had a memorable experience in Ravnica Remastered draft.
See, I disagree. I think remastered drafts are memorable experience. I think they cement a lot of players' limited experience because it has so much
focused on that.
It has so much of what makes Foundations great, right? It has so much of that. This feels closer to core Magic than almost anything else. This feels more like simplified Magic. This feels more like what you expect when you sit down for a trading card game.
They're going to run out of those.
Oh, 100%.
Like you did Dominaria, you did Ravnica. Those are like the base Magic sets. Time Spiral is essentially just like a rebranding of those things.
We're getting Ixalan.
Getting a little. Yeah, Ixalan's got to be the next one.
We're getting Ixalan for sure.
Do we know that? Is that
I don't know. I don't know if we know that, but I don't know that.
What do you do after Ixalan? Like the Kaladesh block? Like now you're just
those things aren't old enough though. I don't feel like those are like
hold on, Mirrodin. Because you had original Mirrodin blocked, and then you had a redoing of a second Mirrodin with Mirrodin besieged.
Mirrodin would be really good.
I would
Mirrodin's gonna go hard. Think about all the artifacts they can reprint and things.
That's when I was playing Magic almost every day of the week. I want it bad. I'd go ham. That would be one.
Lorwyn would be good too,
just for nostalgia, just for my own fun.
They're doing a Lorwyn set. Well, they got pushed so that they could do a secret area Marvel thing, but
Universes Beyond, man, get with it. Universes Beyond within, and sometimes outside.
Anyway, what are you guys gonna do throughout the lull to engage with Magic the Gathering?
See, I've felt that ever since Arena came out, that before the set even releases, you're already tired of this. For people who play Arena, you're already tired of the set. Like before it even releases in paper, because you've been playing it on Arena for 3 weeks prior to the set releasing. So I don't know. I mean, it's rough.
Get the Eeyore meme out. Look, Eeyore Donald. He's even in a grout fit.
That is what?
All you need is a tail, Donald.
Josh, I'm talking about people who actually play Magic, not you, not Louis.
Do you have any idea how much Arena I play? I have a kid. I can't go anywhere. I play a ridiculous
as hell tonight. I love it
Arena
so much.
That's all I can do, buddy. Okay, get with the program.
I agree with the Arena take. I hate Arena. So I think Arena, in my mind.
Wait, was the take that he?
My take was definitely not. I like Arena. I'm not hating on Arena. I'm just saying that when you have, it used to be before Arena, your first experience with the set was pre-release, and then you were excited to come back the next week and draft. With Arena, I can pre-release and draft 12 times before pre-release happens in paper.
You are complaining about problems that don't exist anymore, my friend.
I'm old. I'm a boomer. This is what I do. I scream at clouds.
This is why Commander needs to exist, because that person, instead of sitting at home by themselves with no friends and nothing to do, that person could go play Commander around people and have some fun rather than get boring.
There's never been a game of Commander that was fun. All right, already false
take. You could go hang out with
until someone goes infinite. I play Commander with you and your friends.
The best thing about Magic, which is the gathering, of which Arena doesn't have.
Is that why you guys just yell at each other until someone goes infinite and everyone picks up their cards and someone steals my deck?
What are you looking at? Like I did it.
I cannot wait till we find Josh's deck.
That would be.
It's been his backpack this entire
if
time.
Someone brings it to MagicCon Chicago this year.
Let
me play it for the weekend, and then you can have it.
It would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all if I'm like cleaning out my basement some night and there's a backpack that I haven't opened.
Box.
There's a backpack that I haven't opened since Chicago MagicCon. I would not even a little part of me would be surprised.
Louis never gave me my lightning bolt that I won for us in Gen Con.
You still have his lightning bolt?
Yeah, he never gave it to me.
I unpacked
I
that
bought
box
it from him.
And technically, he just bought my collection, so I guess he owns it now anyway. But
it slipped through the valuation process.
Yeah, it definitely did.
But Donald, you're complaining about things on Arena that just don't happen anymore. Arena got Foundations after Foundations pre-release. Like that's not how that works anymore.
Do you just get fact checked live?
No, but that was a big problem. Donald was right that this was a massive issue and everyone complained, and it did suck because you went to a pre-release and the person you played against knew exactly what to play because they had metagamed the limited experience 14 times before they came that day. But they fixed it. They're like, hey, this sucks, and they fixed it.
Yeah, but my point is, you used to have to play pre-release and then you waited a week and then you drafted. Like now, between pre-release and draft, I can play a million times. Like the amount of times you can play and interact with a set is increased tenfold.
Sure.
So that makes the longevity of the set less.
Yes, I think that's
because
that's a good take.
With the 3 month in between sets, I normally, if I was only playing once a week, that wouldn't be that much interaction with a set. But now if I'm playing 15 times a week, it's a whole different feel.
So again,
I would also, as we're complaining about this, add that if you are sitting at your house and playing on Arena 5 nights a week, that might be one of the contributing factors to why it's so hard to get standard started at a local game store, because if everyone's sitting at home playing on Arena, then where they're not going to a local game store and playing Magic the Gathering.
Somebody from this podcast said they need to have linkage between the two. It has to, because listen, Magic's a fun game, and Standard, despite its unpopularity in paper, is a wildly fun format. People want to play with new cards, guys. Like they just want to. They want to play with the new stuff. Standard's the perfect dumping ground to do it. But you know what people don't want to do? De-sleeve decks, re-sleeve decks, buy all the cards, have to switch their deck. On Arena, the economy's trash. It steals your money. But when you want to swap your deck,
people are just lazy.
You go get something else. If they found a way to tie those together to make your physical cards not even one-to-one representation.
I'm such a boomer. I get it. I understand it. Yeah. I'm such a boomer. I want to get rid of my phone and have one of those flip phone things, but I can't because
you can't go on Twitter.
Yeah, like I wish that we were back in 1998.
Also, as far as Arena and Standard is concerned, there's generally roughly 3 months between most Standard releases. We get 2.5, 3 months between Standard releases anyway. So from an Arena perspective, it's pretty normal.
I feel like George. I'm bored. Let's move on to Sorcery.
Yeah, what are you doing with two people who like normal Magic formats?
I'm just gonna leave you two to have a podcast, and I'll go find somebody who wants to talk about what's the gas station George likes.
This is weird because I feel like you. I feel like I'm towing that line between someone who plays and actually likes the TCGs and a crazy hyperbolic bozo. Like I'm like right in the middle.
There we go. All right, Sorcery. No huge information this week. One of the big things is Sorcery play kits are being shipped out. I'm not sure if this is the full release of them. I'm getting significantly less Sorcery play kits of this set than I got with beta. So I'm not sure what the math is. Maybe they changed the math. There was a lot of beta store kits. But so I don't know if this is a full-fledged release or if there's more coming in the future. But store kits are coming out, which is exciting. We talked about the promos about this a couple weeks ago. But I think it's about time they show up in stores. And so they're showing up in stores. And that comes with a second wave. The second wave is now officially here, which was news to my rep until this morning.
Or was it?
I don't know, man. My rep, I asked him 3 times in the last week, hey, when's wave 2 coming? Wave 2, because one of my reps like already told me, hey, this is coming next week. And then my other rep had no clue about it. He's like, we have no information. We haven't got any information. And then this morning I woke up to all the Sorcery Wave 2 boxes on my ticket. I was like, oh, I gotta come up with some money. Need some money.
Did you say butter?
No, butter? That's a great name for money, though.
I thought you were looking for cheddar and then went with butter, and butter? I just made me hungry, and then I thought I was fat.
Butter makes you hungry.
Yeah, dude. Butter on everything is good.
I had a Butterfingers the other day. We're at like the point.
Did you put butter on it?
We're at like the point of the Halloween candy where it's like all the stuff that like the kids don't eat.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like Tootsie.
A lot of Tootsie Rolls.
I gotta say, Tootsie Rolls have gotten significantly better the older that I've gotten. Is that like a thing?
Because they're left. Because it's still there.
Like I was eating a Tootsie Roll the other day. I was like, holy crap, this is delicious.
Sure.
It's also because you haven't had sugar in 2 months.
You would have picked anything else. Right. You would have picked anything.
I'm a big fan of the flavored Tootsie Rolls. Like the lime,
I need chocolate.
All my life. Chocolate. All my life I've been a fan of like the I don't know where you get them. And actually before my diet, I was like, I'm an adult. I'm going to look up where I can buy a bag of those Tootsie Rolls. And I bought one off of Amazon. I was just like on the couch being like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't even have to look for these right now.
They have them at Dollar General.
Do they really?
I did that with gummy bears for the first time. I was like, I really want some gummy bears. And I went on Amazon and I bought a comically large container.
You know what? I had this conversation with Joey, who ships all of Louis' cards. Shout out to Joey. And he's only 18. So apparently he does not know what runts are. He's never heard of the candy runts. Did you know you can't get runts anymore? They do not exist.
Aren't runts? Are those purple and red things?
You don't know what runts are either?
No, I think you're thinking of Mike and Ike. Here, let's see if I can.
No, I think I'm thinking of nerds.
Runts are the hard candy. There's a banana, a strawberry,
Are you going to pull it up? I was going to pull it up for
you. Yeah.
Okay, you can't find those anymore. They do not exist.
Not even in coin operating vending machines.
I bet you some kid shoved it up their nose and sued him in the company.
Okay.
No, that was a rite of passage.
I'm not paying $20 for a box of runts, though. Yes, you can buy them.
I love how I see runts and my brain goes, I used to shove those up my nose.
That checks out.
Yeah, they're on eBay. They're expensive.
Yeah, because you can't get them anymore.
That's crazy.
Okay, new idea.
They have them at $5 below for $1.50, everybody. It's okay.
No, they do not. No, they do not.
Literally says it right here.
Okay, well, order me some, please.
New idea for the Sorcery code redemption. Discontinued candy.
Okay, let's get back to it.
The only thing I want to talk about is I need some help from a viewer of this podcast.
Who's that?
I need some help from Rudy. I got three sharks going to Rudy.
My favorite comment last week was Josh doesn't count. His sorcery takes don't count because he's not investing or collecting. And no, Josh, giant sharks don't count.
Don't care. That comment's invalid. I need some tents. I picked
You've
3.
Been talking about grading your cards and sending them to Rudy for like 6 months. Will you just send him the package already?
Didn't
what
I tell you?
For?
I ordered the card savers off your recommendation from your link. It was great. That's fantastic. I called the company after purchasing them 2 weeks later and said, hey, you never sent me tracking. I kind of thought it would just get here. You know, what's going on? And they said, oh, your order's on my desk. I'll ship it today. What kind of unprofessional operation is this? What kind of mom and pop garage band did you send me to get card savers?
You can only get them from Card Saver. You can't get them from Distro.
I have other ones that people have sent me Pokemon cards that we'll talk about later on my desk.
I told you I would send you Card Savers.
It was also, oh my God. Oh, you started a discussion.
I've tried to get this back on topic like 4 times, everybody. I'm sorry. This is like a George level off topic here. Are we waiting for him?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
You have a whole box
You
of
want
card
card savers? I got card savers. I got card savers, buddy. How many you want? You want
I
200?
don't understand. Why are you still
go.
not sending the cards in?
You want 200 more? Here you go. Oh, you want 200 more card savers, Bryce?
Those are definitely 2,000 card savers, by the way.
They're 200 in each box. It's 2,000 total.
Oh, is it 200?
How much you want to bet? You want to do bets?
I don't want to bet.
There's a number on them, and I can read.
I think I'm wrong. I want to bet. I want to bet against myself.
I have a comically large stack. The link you sent me is enough for a small village to grade cards from here to infinity.
No, you're just at the beginning of the addiction, man. In like 3 weeks, you're gonna be like, where did all my card savers go? And why am I broke? Okay, so let's go back to sorcery, please. That looks way better, Josh. This podcast is now sponsored by Card Saver One, everybody. Cardboard Gold. Get your order in, they'll leave it on your desk.
Why do I need this many card savers?
Why did you order that many?
Because that's the link your boy sent me.
So, wave 2.
I only need one wave.
A little bit more boxes than I thought it was going to be.
Wait, hold on.
Yep, let's get into it.
I wish the
savers out. I'm ready to talk.
Okay.
No FUD.
We're good. Go ahead.
The only FUD, my only concern is like when and if is there wave 3? Because this is where like we don't have a whole lot of information. But like it seems like compared to the beta restock, it seems like a big chunk of boxes. I kind of wish I had more beta compared to as much Arthurian Legends.
Well, yeah, they had time to adjust their print runs based on the data they received from beta. I mean,
yeah,
like that. It's the same thing that like
that's fair.
Like their goal was not to make the game non-accessible to people. Like, you know,
yeah,
they want the game to grow. So how you do that? You print boxes.
I think the question is, how are these boxes going to be at distro still, or is distro just like get them out of here? You know what I mean, like give up all the boxes, don't drip them out at all. Just here, game stores take all the boxes. And
I feel like they want the shelf space, right?
What wants the shelf space?
Well,
distro wants the shelf space. They're not going to let them sit around.
That's like one of my concerns with, and this is frankly a concern for any indie TCG is like the what you need is for a store to be able to order a case at a time and be like, I bought a case, I sold my 6 boxes, I need to restock it next week. What I feel like happens at distribution is like you have to order a lot of boxes, otherwise you get no boxes. And then distro's like, okay, here's all the boxes. And then in a week, they're not going to have boxes. And so it's like, at some point, it feels like they're not distributors. They're just middlemen. Like, you know, like they're just like, I don't know.
So this is we have to be very careful here, because we've seen what happens in the indie TCG space when you entrust someone who doesn't have your game's best interest to handle the release of a product, especially over a period of time. We've literally watched this, and I'm not saying anyone would ever go into it with ill intent, but businesses look at their bottom line. And like Donald said, you have one thing you have to keep in mind, and someone's going to decide we need the shelf space, or this is valuable, we need up the price, keep it, whatever. There's other decisions that can be made. This is why a big restock is probably not in the best interest of a game that's looking to be around through the course of the year. The same amount of product released at the end of the year is probably a good idea, right. But releasing that a bit over time, you know, and not entrusting your distribution or your stores to manage that properly feels like a better idea.
That's where it's rough being a year release, year between releases, because unless you are able to space that out to where, you know, you're getting a restock every month or 2 months or whatever,
and
like it all comes
different products, and
it's like it's all at once, and then you're sitting there for 8-9 months with no product at all. So if a new person comes along that wants to get into it, then it's like, I mean, what yeah, I have some sitting on the shelf if you're lucky, but if not, then
Yeah.
what you buy from the secondary market and then it goes up and like it.
I think it's first off, I am I'm looking at this. I'm trying to look at this from not my store perspective. It's like I have people who are super interested in the boxes and like, stop it with the fun alert. But from and like I've got, you know, we did an amazing, dude. I chaos twisted a sample. I chaos twisted the first ever unique sample of the card of Pillar of Zeros the other night. Like it was so much fun. Like
Louis single-handedly destroyed several $100 worth of value.
it's like it didn't damage the card at all. It completely survived completely harm.
Let the buyer say that.
He did. I don't know. Anyway, like I'm not talking from my perspective. Like from my perspective, like I took as many boxes as they would give me. I asked for more. But from a perspective of a small LGS, if you were like, man, I'm gonna order 50 boxes because like when I ordered 50 boxes before, that got cut to 20, so I'm gonna order 50 boxes and whatever. And then now, and I don't know, you know, whatever. Now you order the restock and you say 50 boxes and you get all the boxes you asked for and you take them because you're a good store and whatever. But now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have to sell all these boxes at once. This is where the indie TCG game gets really, really difficult for new stores. Yeah. And then what happens is it turns into a feel bad for that store because they wanted the boxes, but now they have this huge bill that they have to pay. So they have to sell the boxes as fast as possible. So they end up not having them on the shelf for, you know, for an elongated period of time because they just dump the boxes on TCG Play or whatever. So I think from the market perspective, this is going to be what happens with Sorcery. My prediction, you're going to have a quick downtick. The boxes are going to hit a price point where people are going to be like, oh my gosh, for whatever it is, I want to open that box and have fun. And then you're going to see the boxes sell out of them. And then all of a sudden everybody's going to want them again. Like this is like the epitome of like when you can get it, you don't want it. But as soon as you can't get it again, nobody or everybody wants it. Like, I don't know.
That's a big part of the indie TCG ecosystem, though.
Yeah,
the idea of
I guess I'm just exhausted by it again. Like,
yeah, and that's fair, but that's why it comes down to, you know, the company to manage, and we've said it several times. We don't envy that position. That's because like there's no like clean cut solution with the world that we live in today and the way TCGs are distributed in a normal fashion. You have to kind of break the mold if you want to fix this. So you really have to have good and strong partnerships. And that's where, you know, indie TCGs do get a little bit of a boost. Because if you have smaller teams, maybe you can build that strong partnership. Maybe you can find a way to solve this problem. But in a world where, like Donald said, we introduce the variable of, you know, one release per year, unless you count the 6 cards that are going to be shipped directly to 4 people, you know, in a set or whatever it is for the mini set release, it's extra impactful, something like this.
Yeah again, I feel like for the stores that are plugged in, this is a non issue. Like this is not like this is like a thing that we expect or a thing that we know is going to happen. I think it's just for those new stores that I feel like it sucks for. Like,
yeah, but I don't think there's very many stores that are at the same commitment level that you are, as far, you know, like you're going to have it. But like a lot of those stores, their shelf space is going to be at a premium, and they're not going to hang on to that product for a year,
right?
You know,
so that they can get 1 or 2 more people into the game,
right?
Yeah. I also want to be very clear as far as, you know, stores having to put in their orders and, oh, how much of this am I going to get and how much of that am I going to get? Like that's part of the learning curve. I don't think it's Sorcery's team's responsibility
that's true.
To teach a team or to teach a store how the world of owning a store works.
Yeah.
So like for that specific example, I have little to no sympathy because that's not a Sorcery problem.
Yeah.
That's a TCG distributor model problem.
It's weird because I have these relationships with these stores and they're so different. Like one store is like, how many more boxes? I need a bunch more boxes. How many are you getting? Like, I want more. And then another store is like, oh my gosh, I got all these boxes. What do I do with them? I don't, you know. And then it's also in the middle of like Lorcana's release, We just spent $8 billion on TCGs with Magic and Pokemon's release. One Piece just had a huge, like, we're in this middle of this like storm of product, and like stores don't know what to do, especially when they're hit with something they didn't expect, like they didn't know was going to pop up. But
I know George isn't here, and he's the biggest fan of the game, but let's not disrespect Star Wars. Let's at least mention it.
Dude, Star Wars just seems so.
That's George's favorite game. I think George is at a.
You can't throw that shade, buddy.
I think George is
you were the number one Star Wars creator on YouTube.
I don't know if I've ever been the number one creator for anything.
Somebody told me that they got a full play set of the new Star Wars set for $300. Like, it was that easy for them. Complete everything, $300.
I don't think I would have paid that much.
That game's so frustrating because the gameplay is so good, but the artwork is getting worse. It's somehow. Somebody told me the other day. I was talking. Shout out to Dom. I was talking to him. He was like, "Dude, if Star Wars had Sorcery's artwork, it would outsell Magic the Gathering."
Okay, all right.
Loved it.
You know what? We know what games with great artwork can really do out there. We know the difference that great artwork can make in TCG.
I mean, it makes a difference. I am a massive Star Wars fan. I'm, like that. As far as interests go, that is my number one, like, interest in something is Star Wars. As you can see behind me,
yeah, we can see
everything behind me is Star Wars. But I had zero interest in this game, and it all stemmed from the artwork. All of it.
You know what? I don't know the answer to this question, Donald. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Empire Strikes Back. Thank God. That's the only right answer.
Yeah, I was about to say. Wait a minute.
Only right answer.
I got to take. Hold on. Say it again with the FUD alert off the screen, because I thought it was going to be something else, but you didn't deserve that. That was
Empire's the best. However, Rogue One.
Oh, I was just gonna say Rogue One.
Rogue One. Strong second.
Also very good. Also very good.
I knew we were friends for some reason. I couldn't put. Until now, I haven't been able to put a finger on it.
Glad you could.
Anyway, I'm excited to crack open some more packs. I'm gonna open. I'm super excited. I'm gonna open like another. I'm not gonna do it online. I'm not gonna do video because being a guy who does single sales and then like also content, it slows the process down so much. It is so much more difficult to sit here in a chair and open packs like this than it is to like put a movie on with my wife and be like, come on, honey, open some packs. Let's go. Let's get through. Come on, kids, take some Arthurian Legends cards. So I'm excited. We're gonna crack, I don't know, $50 or something. Lots of fun.
I gave out MetaZoo packs into like Cam's birthday baskets for like the older cousins, and I have those stupid. I just have MetaZoo packs all over my house. I put some of them in each of the baskets, and someone opened Death, and my buddy messaged me. He's like, "Hey, what'd you give my kid?" And I was like, "You gotta learn sometime." That's like the gotta learn sometime, man.
So wait, these are the packs that I put as packing peanuts?
Nope.
Oh. You just have extra
packs that George put as packing peanuts.
I just throw that stuff away. So because we've started talking about it on the podcast, whenever I buy something from somebody in my Discord server, they've started putting MetaZoo packs and random stuff. So when I bought the Sorcery sample pack off the guy, shout out to Zerkery. We're doing a lot of shout outs tonight. He put it in a box and I was like, this box is heavy, and I opened the box and it's got a booster box of Genesis not Genesis. Yeah, is that the game Genesis? Is that the one?
Yeah,
a booster box of Genesis, a blister pack of Cryptic. It was a deck of Cryptic and a blister pack of MetaZoo. I sent him a picture of it in my trash can. I have too much crappy card games sitting around.
I throw
some sealed boxes of Cryptic. I have some.
I throw them in with every order. When someone orders a box opening on the channel,
nice.
They get some Cryptic or some MetaZoo, or they get something interesting in there. And more often than not, I get a follow-up message. Hey, what's this?
Love it.
Because I was never big in those communities. So like,
Right.
what'd you just give me? What?
I actually looked earlier for something because I'm never on this computer, and there was a quick link or like a recently visited to the Cryptic Play Network thing. So I looked in here to see. I'm still ranked. I'm the 10th best player in Cryptic. Still,
Bro, you're top 10.
I am 10.
Let's
You're
go,
11th.
dude.
You're 11th, Louis.
I was keeping up with you for a while, and then we got
Yeah, you're 11th. But then I went and so get this. This is the best part. I went and looked at, because they were doing the seasons thing, like the rankings would go by seasons. So the season 3 happened between May 27th and August 30th of this year. You want to take a guess as to how many people participated in season 3?
4.
3.
That's pretty low, actually. 22. 22 people played Cryptic between May
Bullish.
and August.
Bullish. Dude, I have all of my Cryptic singles still. I just put them up in my attic the other day.
Can I do something I normally avoid doing on this podcast for you, Donald? I want to give you actual advice. Delete that account and don't trust whoever that is with your data.
Well, it's cardio, so
Cardio. Shout out to Cardio.
Oh, wait.
Trust them with the data.
Oh, actually, extra don't trust those guys. I've had a beer with those guys. They're crazy.
All right, before Josh keeps dissing all of our partners here.
Wait, I thought they don't sponsor us anymore. You threw a fit.
No, they do. That's just when George is here.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to tell George that you were poo-pooing in Cardio.
Good. Maybe he'll call me. Burn.
All right. Speaking of things that Josh is really good at, I don't know. Pokemon grading. Show us that card.
The destroyed.
Josh is starting a new Pokemon grading business, everybody, where Josh buys singles and grades them to see if he can get higher.
No. You're going down on this ship with me. You spent twice as much as me.
Spent more than that.
I don't think so. Not anymore. I made 2 more purchases today.
But this started with you doing it, and I said I would join you to do it with you.
You suggested I do this.
I've suggested this on the channel to people before.
You should try it.
Why are we hiding what this is? I've suggested this as a viable business for other people before. That let's
not use viable. Yeah. I don't
a way to engage with the hobby that may or may not have upside and may have potential loss as well. But people already do this. They buy singles and then they grade the singles to, they buy a chunk of the same card and then they grade the singles in order to try to get, 10s to profit. Like that's a pretty common thing. So I just wanted to show that card and say, should you return it? Because they said it was near mint, and it's definitely LP.
They said it's near mint, but I need to find the TCG player guidelines because it's, you know what? It's so jacked up. I'm just gonna take it out of the case. Like,
I was gonna say, it's hard to see. It's hard to tell.
What does it matter? It's destroyed. So
you can definitely tell at the top.
The top is already LP. Bottom left.
Look at those corners, dude. Yeah, that bottom corner,
rough.
That's definitely LP.
For sure.
Definitely.
The front of these cards looks so good.
If that was a Magic card, I would put it as LP. Never mind a Pokemon card, which I always am more harsh on grading Pokemon than Magic because
because no one plays them. So to find one that's destroyed, it's
Pokemon people just care way more on TCG.
No, this is true.
Yeah, I can't tell you. Very rarely do I sell a Magic card as near mint, and someone's like, "This is LP. I want my money back." Like very rarely.
Yeah, I get that a lot, and I just don't complain. I just put it into decks.
Yeah, because people are like, they don't even look. Like when I buy a Magic card, if
it's something I'm playing with, I could care less about the condition.
Yeah.
Did I get the right card?
Yeah.
In fact,
is it in the right language? That's usually what I'm worried about. Did I get an English version or not?
In fact, sometimes I'll list a pretty near mint card as LP because it doesn't change the price, and then I just know I don't have to deal with it with Magic.
Right.
Like, it's just not a thing. But with Pokemon, it matters a lot when you're a seller. So I would definitely that card I would not be surprised if I had somebody reach back out to me and be like, hey, this is LP, and I'd be like, yeah, you're right.
That happened to me in with Lorcana. I ordered a card. I mean, I was playing with the card So, I just said I don't care about the condition. However, condition was labeled as near mint, and the card had it looked like someone had taken a stapler in the middle of it. I mean, it was obviously damaged. So I did reach out about that. I'm like, there's a pretty big discrepancy here. It has a giant dent in the middle of it. And so they made me send it back. First of all, I would have been fine taking the discount.
Yeah.
They made me send it back. They sent me another one. It was also damaged.
That's wild.
I was like, what is going on? Like,
so when that happens to me as a seller, I always offer a 50% refund. Like,
yeah, I would gladly have taken that. I needed the card to play. Like, by sending it back, I wasn't able to play with it that weekend. Yeah. And like that,
unless it's like a $50 card or $40 card, I'd just be like,
and it was a $50 card.
Oh,
and but still, like,
yeah.
I mean, I would have taken a $10 discount or something, like a $15 discount.
Never have I been more critical about like trading cards. Like, I'm not saying
grade that one.
What?
You can't grade that one.
No, absolutely not. Never have I just been more. But like, if I were to get this card normally, I'd look at this card and be like, great, I got a card. Thanks. It's in good shape. I ordered near mint. It's fine. Now, I turn on the bright lights of the studio, put these things under the microscope. I'm not a fan.
So I don't know anything about Pokemon cards, but
they're trash.
When like
the printing process is terrible.
Well, that was my question. In Magic, it's not uncommon to open a card that looks like it's already been chewed up by a toddler. So
all of these.
So my question is, does Pokemon have that same issue with fresh out of the pack and they look like?
Yeah, and like when you're grading, you're also dealing with like the centering, which is like obviously
out of your control.
Yeah. But
there's a lot more you're paying attention to, in my opinion. It's not it's not like it looks like it's chewed on like a toddler. It's not the Brothers War where you got print lines and things are way off center and half on the card and stuff. It is just like you start to really evaluate those corners and so and the surface of some of these, and like Louis said, the centering, and you find there's just a ton of variance.
Well, and sometimes like you're dealing with cards that, like, as a buyer of lots of Pokemon cards, if you ever want to sell a collection, KitchenTableTCG at gmail.com. But as a buyer of a lot of Pokemon cards, a lot of the Pokemon cards come from kids. Like, kids open them and they want to trade them in or sell them or whatever to buy more packs to do whatever. And like, kids have no chill when it comes to keeping a card in good condition. Even like 15-year-olds, no chill. Like, they just like frankly, they're stupid. Like, they're not thinking that way because like they're kids.
They're not wired to, and they should.
They don't care about the value. Like, like what? It's the right way to do it.
They're toys. They're doing the right thing.
Right. And so, when you have that factor, it adds a chunk of Pokemon cards that like people buy, and you have lazy buyers and on TCG Player who don't actually look at the card. They just, it's a near mint card. They're playing a Magic game. They have to get up and go buy cards, and they don't care, so they list it, and that's how you get a near mint card that's on near mint. Like, it is what it is. But
yeah, so that's it. I'm finding that it's a really cool, like, little subdivide of the community. There's a little more pushback against it than I thought there would be. I would think
against grading,
against like buying groups of cards to grade. Grading your cards, there's no pushback. But being someone that, I don't know, let's say picks 2 cards from a recent, Pokemon set and buys everything on popular sites like TCG Player, eBay, under a certain value, and then accrues a ton of the card and sends it off to grading. Like, I know who would do that. That seems crazy. But there's a little pushback against that. And I want to ask, is that just people don't like other people accruing value? Because it doesn't seem to. Pokemon's so massive, it doesn't really seem to move the market at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a big difference between doing that in Pokemon and doing that in
Sorcery.
Sorcery. Or like, when you do that in Sorcery, you change the value of the card like crazy. And now
buyouts are never good, like, except for the person buying out.
Well, even for that person, like, it usually doesn't. So I think Josh, my personal answer to your question is like most people are too lazy to do the work to grade the card. There is a lot of effort that goes into grading a card. In Pokemon, in that world, the people who do that, you're not just like buying the card to pump the market up so that you can sell the same card back to people. You're buying the card to do a service, which is to grade the card, and then you are selling the PSA 10 is really where you're making money. You're losing money on the 9s after the grading fee, and you're selling the PSA 10 to people who don't want to buy cards to take the risk to get the PSA 10. They want the PSA 10. And I think like if you wanted to influence the price of the Moonbryon, like you've got to have that $50,000 to get 50 cards. You know what I mean? Like you can't do it. Like it's just not in Pokemon. It's too big. The market is too big to have any influence on the single cards, in my opinion.
And that's why, especially when it's out of a set that, you know, has been around for a while, it's a cheaper box. It does seem to be a little bit of unfounded criticism, but my fear here is, do Pokemon grading prices, does the graded Pokemon card craze die with the pump? No. Does it die with the pump? Do you need too many casual fans that are buying cards for their daughters on eBay like I do, and I make mistakes and I give her, you know, slabs to have fun with? Like, does this come crashing down when that ends?
So somebody came into the store the other day. This is great. Somebody came in the store the other day with his 2 kids. They're just walking in and whatever. I'd never met them before. We were talking about Pokemon. He was like, yeah, remember when our parents used to say this was just a fad? I was like, yes, I do. Like for 30 years, 25 years, my mom has said, Pokemon is just a fad. It's going to go away. It's just going to go away. It's shout out to my mom, but,
definitely shout out to your mom. Big fan.
But like, it's not a fad, man. Like it's the number, what did Time Magazine call it? The number one brand.
Sending you the picture of that magazine sparked a whole conversation that we weren't ready for. It sparked several $1,000s of movement from my own happiness.
It's massive, dude. Pokemon is huge, and grading Pokemon, like there's people who don't care for graded Pokemon cards, and that's fine. Those people are awesome. You know what they care about? Having a binder full of really cool cards. And eventually they end up grading their Pokemon cards. Like, trust me, like I know them.
He is me. I am him.
I think Pokemon grading is every bit as here to stay as Pokemon itself is.
It's very exciting. And I will say there are things that feel more, and in a hobby like this, there's nothing that's ever sure. There's nothing, but core Pokemon, we saw the effect of 151 on both the community and the secondary market, targeting things that people are very nostalgic about, targeting things that are very popular, seems like a safer way to go about it. So there's cool little things to find, there's cool little things to learn, cool little niches to get involved with. But I gotta say, it's still scary. It's a bit scary.
I mean, I think the key to Pokemon, the key to any hobby like this is you don't spend more money than you're willing to like lose. And then the question that I always have with people,
tell me that now.
The question I always have with people is like, do you actually want the thing that you're buying?
Right.
Like for me, it's like, I love Pokemon. And frankly, it was when my kids started getting interested in Pokemon that I really, really got interested in like buying stuff and collecting, because like it's a thing that I can do with my daughter and hang out and like open packs and be like, oh, check out this card that I got for you. You want to put it up on your wall? And she like puts it up on her wall and she loves it. And so I think that there is an element of it being financial, but then there's this whole other side of the Pokemon thing that's like a generational experience for this current generation of adults that are having kids. So I don't know.
I mean, you nailed it with the kid stuff, because that's what sparked me.
I can't tell you how many 40-year-old men come into the shop with their kids and buy Pokemon packs and like just have a blast. Like it's a hobby for them as much as for their kids.
Yeah, with that and Disney Lorcana, man, it's like.
And then there's always a wife who's like, I don't get this. I don't understand this.
I I bought. She has an Elsa. She has the Elsa promo in PSA 10, which is like, $40 card or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was on eBay and I found a good deal on a Genie, which is a $6 card in PSA 10. And I just snap bought it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I bought a birthday present for Cam. He's like, it's not Cam's birthday. And I was like, yeah, but I did it anyway.
I buy any Mew that comes to the shop. I buy, and I check I have like a list. I check to see if my daughter has it, because she's a huge Mew fan, and I want nothing more for her to have a binder full of every Mew card ever printed. Like, I think that's so cool.
That would be sweet. No, it's so much fun. Now the grading, I'm pumping this video series because I'm terrified of it, because I'm trying to get some of the money I'm spending back in interest on the channel. I'm doing a whole hey, here's $3,000 or whatever it ends up being total that I'm sending off to grading. What happened from start to finish, and then either go through the love and the pain with me. And it's going to be, will it? We'll see.
I did that series, Grading the Graders, that people really liked.
That was I liked that series.
I sent the same card into multiple, companies to evaluate how they did.
Which one was waterproof?
They're all waterproof, other than Rudy's Grading Company was not waterproof.
Hold on. How are my sharks going to go in the Shark Tank then?
And maybe that was only one,
Rudy,
slab, but
get in these DMs.
It wasn't
waterproof now.
Importantly, it wasn't Rudy's company when I did that.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. I don't know. I've got a lot of smart aleck things to say.
That was peak Louis content in the pandemic. That was my favorite. One of my favorite videos.
Listen, that's a really good video. How did that do long term?
I have no clue. I don't ever look at that stuff.
I would want to go back and look, just because that's
really the worst YouTuber. I'm so bad at YouTube.
That is not true. You put on this. Nah, we're not going to get into
the people on YouTube who they redo their thumbnails.
Oh,
what are you doing?
You have to have a team. You have to have a team. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I know, man. All right, let's finish this off with Lorcana. Donald, big news today. Share it with us, my friend. This is actually maybe the best Lorcana news I've heard.
Well, it's not new news. It's actually a couple weeks old, but it's new to you. So,
where was this last week when you were on the podcast, Donald?
Yeah, you can't do that. You were here last week. This is your responsibility.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
We're fighting you now, bud. We're fighting you.
I was saving it. I didn't know if I'd get invited back, so I was trying to I didn't want to go with all my best stuff, so that
I'm looking to sell my seat. Like it's a corrupt Senate thing going on here. So if you're interested in a full-time seat,
you get paid.
No, that's why I'm looking to sell my seat.
All right.
None of us get paid unless you go to KitchenTableTCG.com. Then one of us gets paid.
I don't have
a store. And one of us.
Here's my store.
So Moana 2 comes out in 2 weeks.
This is a movie?
It is a movie. Yep. Highly anticipated movie. Yes.
Was there a Moana 1?
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
Okay. Did people like it?
You're nailing these questions, dude. Wow. So insightful. Donald,
one of the best Disney movies of the recent era.
Yes. Fact.
Probably the best one of the recent era.
I watched today. We watched the 6 movie. What's it called?
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6.
I only watched the first 30 minutes of it because I fell asleep. But it was a good movie. It's good.
You
guys did a terrible job of selling me that movie, for the record.
That's what this set is, and that's why
you could have
people are excited for Big Hero 6.
You should have led with robot fighting. Robot Wars, the coolest, the pinnacle of TV, Robot Wars.
BattleBots, you mean? I think are you referencing BattleBots? Well, probably. It's important. If you're going to call
there's not one called Robot Wars?
I don't know, there might be. It sounds like a Nick Jr.
So anyway,
real BattleBots.
Back to Moana 2. Moana 2 comes out, and they are doing a
Hold on, Donald. I have to prove that I was right. There is a Robot Wars TV series, everybody. It was
When did it come out?
1998 to 2004, and from 2016 to 2018. So there was definitely a Robot Wars, and I'm reading the Wikipedia article about it, but it seems like it was super successful.
BattleBots was the GOAT.
Let's see.
Those who know.
BattleBots was after.
BattleBots was the GOAT. Those who know.
12 seasons. You had more seasons.
For BattleBots was like
you had more seasons. I had more episodes.
Comment section, do your thing. BattleBots was the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay. Donald, get back to
a card game that almost sold 2,000 boxes for its release.
almost outselling Sorcery.
It's on its way. It's going to get there.
All right. Moana 2 in cinemas November.
Yeah, so Moana 2 comes out. If you are in the viewing area and of United Kingdom or the Republic of Ireland, you can get a Moana promo card with your ticket to the movie.
Only if you were 8 years or younger.
No, you read that wrong.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah. You read it because I put it in the Discord, but you read it wrong. Collectible card is for guests age 8 and over.
What?
Over.
Hold on a second.
Hey, my daughter
8 and over.
That's why this is the greatest nation on the planet. There's no
Louis, you take your 2 kids to go see Moana 2. You get a promo card, but they don't.
That is a
and then you get to spend the entire movie with them fighting over who gets the Moana card because they're not 8 years or older.
This is an atrocity.
That is the stupidest. Are you sure you didn't just read it wrong?
I am 100% sure that is copied word for word from the terms and conditions.
So let's talk about something. The greatest advertising move of all time in the history of the world was Pokemon the movie 2000. No, Pokemon the first movie. Sorry. Pokemon the first movie. Every single person who went to Pokemon the first movie, I assume I was 5, so I don't know if it was everybody, but I know I got like 6 of them. Got the Ancient Mew gold, the Ancient Mew card that everybody knows is Ancient Mew.
Yeah.
That was the absolute coolest. I remember as a kid, just like being, I wasn't 5, I was been.
So 7. Before that though, there was a movie before that, right?
There was no before that. That was the start of time. Was Pokemon the first movie.
No, there was a movie before that I actually saw, and I got that Dragonite promo, right?
Oh, am I wrong? Was the first movie the Dragonite promo, and then the second movie was second movie was Ancient Mew?
I went to one Pokemon movie as a child, and I got a Dragonite promo. I never got a Mew promo. So
I think I just got fact checked live by Donald.
I think he's right too.
I think that was the first.
The Ancient Mew you're talking about is iconic, but I'm like 100%.
You're right. That is the first movie. I got fact checked by Donald about Pokemon. I
something I know nothing about.
I want to apologize to the internet. I suck. So
anyway,
I am remembering the second movie, which was Pokemon the movie 2000. So I was actually right the first time before I corrected myself. Pokemon the movie 2000, you got the Ancient Mew card. So they are trying to replicate this, and think about how much they have missed on that. That like as a kid you don't get this. That's so silly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That like first of all, when I read it, I got really excited about it. Like I thought it was. I'm not going to go see Moana 2. I might take my nieces to go see it if I could get a promo card. That would be like the only reason why I'd go see it. But anyway, I read the thing. I was like, oh, only at Odeon theaters in United Kingdom.
That's so stupid.
So then I was like, okay, well, I understand that. Like I understand it's like the first one maybe, and then the second one you do a world release, something like that. Maybe they're testing the waters, whatever. But then when I read these terms and conditions,
but they don't need
8 years and over.
They don't need to test the waters. Pokemon already tested the waters.
You don't, but
25 years ago.
Where is the terms and conditions? I can't find it.
You have to go to the
I'm at Disney.
You have to go to the actual
I'm gonna say
theaters here. I'll put it in the Discord.
I'm gonna say what everybody's thinking. If you are a movie theater person who is taking the tickets and handing these promos out in Ireland or Europe, and a 4-year-old kid comes up and asks for a promo and you don't give it to them, you suck.
Yeah.
You 100% suck. And not just because you don't live in the United States, which is, obviously USA.
You suck.
My 2-year-old loves Moana. Her first favorite movie was Moana, and
my kids have ever seen
her
Moana.
Lorcana
I still don't know what Moana is.
She's got her Aladdin box that we bought off the shelf at full price because she wanted it and she was really well behaved, so we got it. But if she went there and didn't, she would be devastated. She would be destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving her mine. What do you think this is?
And I don't know this because you guys can probably answer this question for me. Kids' tickets to a movie are full price still, right? Is there a kids' price?
They probably should be cheap. They're probably cheaper. I don't know the last time. We're gonna go see Moana.
They're probably twice as expensive as regular movie tickets were when we were in high school.
I'm just wondering if that's why it, like, if kids 8 and under, their tickets are free or what, like if the ticket price, if that's why. Maybe
in Europe.
In Europe, I don't know anything about the way and it's only it's Odeon theaters, so it's just like, the big thing here is the popcorn buckets but you can only get it in I don't even know what theater brand it is, but like everybody's all worried about the popcorn bucket release for the new movies that come out, and
that might have something to do with something other than collectability, my friend.
Just the Dune one, but that's a whole different story.
Sure.
I have no clue. You guys are. Can I look that up? Is that something?
Maybe off screen?
Popcorn. Don't look up the Dune one. Look up Ghostbusters popcorn bucket.
Popcorn bucket off screen.
Dune
not on the screen.
Bucket.
Not on screen.
No, it's. I don't.
But anyway, like to get those popcorn buckets, it's only at that theater, that whatever theater brand that is. So maybe this is like more of a Odeon theater thing and not a Ravensburger thing. I don't know.
Let's still hate on it.
Ravensburger, then partner with a theater in a normal country,
I
like
think,
USA.
This could have been a really.
They're not an American company.
That's great. And as soon as I call the theater and they're like, "Hey, one of our terms and conditions is we're not going to give the children's card to kids."
They certainly don't have any problem selling products.
Yeah, click.
People. Yeah,
click. You're not going to give our children's card to the kids in your movie? Click. Next theater.
Okay. Interesting. That was a letdown, but
that's crazy. That sucks.
Josh,
you better give it to the kids.
Josh's.
It wasn't my decision to not give it to the kids, Josh.
Why are you
mad at me?
If you make Lorcana decisions, then you would do the right thing because you love the game.
Yeah. Josh's secret sauce.
I have fallen down a food challenge rabbit hole on YouTube.
Oh God.
And as two other gentlemen that also like to eat, I have a very specific food challenge question for you.
Okay.
How many eggs could you consume?
And what?
How are they prepared?
Well, however you get to prepare them, however you want. Dealer's choice. Hard-boiled's clearly the hardest answer.
Yeah, I feel like a fried egg is almost like.
It's almost nothing, right?
Yeah. I could eat 3 fried eggs and I would be done.
That's true. Damn it.
Those are rookie numbers. 3? You'd stop after 3, Josh?
He's got an excuse. He doesn't need as much anymore. Like we're two fat guys. He's in the process of being a skinny guy.
I feel like
Are you allergic to eggs or something, Donald?
No, I just don't like eggs. But I feel like even before, I still could only eat like 3 fried eggs. Now, granted, a fried egg does not fill one up. Like it's like eating air. Yeah. But I think after I eat 3 eggs, I'm
you're
disgusted and I'm done.
I think the hard part is like scrambled eggs. You're getting that milk too, so like I don't know. It's like not, I could eat a dozen fried eggs and I'd probably be like, oh, that was a lot of eggs. But I'm probably
now, wait a second though. We're forgetting two very particular types. One, deviled eggs. I can eat 5 dozen deviled eggs and be okay.
But that would only be 2.5 dozen eggs, right?
Sure, but that's I could eat an unlimited amount of deviled eggs.
For the people in the comment section,
You're not going to ask this question.
what a deviled egg.
You're not going to ask this question.
You don't know what a deviled egg
You don't
is?
know what a deviled egg
What
is?
is a deviled egg?
What the hell?
And why is it half an egg?
Oh my god, you've never had a deviled egg?
Donald, what's happening right now?
Oh my god.
Donald, what is happening right now?
And before you say it's just a West
Dune
Virginia
popcorn
thing,
bucket?
it is not just a West Virginia thing.
Are you stuck in a Dune popcorn bucket right now, buddy? What is happening?
Deviled egg is a hard-boiled egg cut in half. You take the yolk out, you mix it with some mayonnaise and mustard and pickle juice
A
and
little relish sometimes if you're feeling fancy.
paprika. And
I would
then
never
you,
eat this. I would never eat this. Looks disgusting. I don't like mayonnaise. Did you
I
say
have
mayonnaise?
learned more.
there is not a person living that does not like deviled eggs.
I have never.
Well,
had
it's Louis' comment section, so someone down
I
there
have
will agree
seen
with him.
these little things that I'm looking at on a platter before and been like, that looks gross. And I'm a hard-boiled egg fan.
Me
I like
too.
hard-boiled
Yeah,
eggs.
everyone.
I mean, it makes sense. You have the palate of a 9-year-old. Like, I get that.
That's not
But everyone loves deviled eggs.
How many big cats did you eat this week?
none. I've been relatively
How many Tootsie Rolls did you eat this week?
a lot.
Tootsie Rolls.
I've been good at not going to Sheets and getting a big cat. I haven't been
That's a
great about
win.
not eating my kids' candy.
I was great until I housed a whole pizza the other night.
Okay, wait. So
Spent
go
thousands of
down-
dollars on
hold on.
Pokemon
We're
cards.
getting hung up on deviled eggs, which is not that important.
Okay, but there's another one.
For the record, one of those deviled eggs is half an egg.
Sure.
For the record, we covered this.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm just saying, like,
I could eat
you
10 times more deviled eggs than I could a hard-boiled egg.
Probably.
go 5 times. I'm saying like
5 times, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're that delicious, or because
Yes.
And they go down super smooth, man. You're sitting there at Thanksgiving, you got a couple drinks in, you're hanging out with family. Deviled eggs just go down, baby.
Oh, the amount of eggs I could eat definitely goes down if I've been drinking anything more. Like,
Sure.
I'm
But-
saying empty stomach. It's 10 in the morning. I haven't eaten yet. I'm starting to get hungry. It's also close enough to lunchtime that I could stretch this out over 2 hours.
Mhm.
I think I could eat
Oh, you're stretching out.
Two- 2 dozen fried eggs.
I 100% could eat 24 scrambled eggs. And I'm talking then not difficult.
Okay, what's
Not-
the number from the food challenges?
No, I don't know. There's no food challenge with
How are we talking about right now?
There's no
worst
there's no
secret
food
sauce
challenge
ever.
with just eggs. It always there's always a gotcha. The gotcha is always like potatoes or extra thick pancakes. That's where they get you. But I was talking to my wife about it. I think I could eat 3 dozen eggs. If you scramble 3 dozen eggs, I could eat 3 dozen eggs.
Okay, what do you think the world record is for most eggs eaten in 24 hours?
In 24 hours? Oh, man.
24
It's got to be
hours.
like,
It's a lot.
Oh,
It's gotta be like-
reset. One sitting.
Well, can you
says
sit for
one
24 hours?
it's got to be at least 5 dozen.
It's got to be more. I 6 or 7.
143
Dozen?
in
Or
4
total
minutes-
eggs?
in 4 minutes.
Total eggs or dozen?
This is from AI on
Total.
Google.
That's total eggs.
So
Okay, so a gross. So 12 dozen.
So a dozen.
12 dozen eggs.
yep, in less than 4 minutes. You know, we click on the link.
No,
Yeah,
I'm-
kinda.
I'm disgusted. No.
This. I have never been more sure of anything in my life that I could eat 3 dozen eggs and go about a relatively normal day.
This guy also owns a record, eating 12.8 pounds of deep fried asparagus in 10 minutes.
Oh my god, the pea.
What, like,
Louis.
what a random thing to have.
32 Big Macs in 38 minutes and 15
God.
seconds, and 32 servings of popcorn in
So-
8 minutes.
So
How much popcorn can you eat in 10 minutes? Can you
I
imagine?
would be sick. Movie
No,
theater
but you'd
popcorn
have
is
to
great.
think about how much you have to chew popcorn. Like that's the challenge.
So
is
the
like,
chewing brings me to my question. What food challenge would you like would you want to do?
Jello.
That's so lame. You don't want to do like you ever see those like on TV? It's like a gigantic pizza. It's a 50-inch pizza
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I've done one food challenge in my life.
I've never done one.
It's a restaurant that it was actually on like maybe diners, drive-ins, and dives or something. It got featured on something for their food challenge. It's called the He-Man Breakfast Challenge. They serve it to you on a garbage can lid, and it's literally just every breakfast. It's bacon, ham, sausage, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, toast, biscuits. It's all of it. And I guess it's not as much as like a food challenge. Like if you complete it, you get a shirt or whatever. But the fact was, it was like $12. So
seems super cheap.
I don't trust that one at all.
Yeah. I think it came from the garbage can that they served.
It's their garbage can, and it's just the leftovers. They've just got a can in the back, or kind of thing. And when people don't finish their food, they just put it on and they're like, "Here you go, Donald."
I even think the pancakes would be no problem. If I think I would do any breakfast challenge in the United States that didn't involve potatoes.
I don't think I would do breakfast.
Hash browns, like home fries. But pancakes, if I could lather that thing up in syrup. As I told my wife, I would go into diabetic shock before I stopped eating. I think
I'd take the pizza. I think I could do almost any.
I think I could do a pizza. Chewing. Imagine chewing a giant pizza though. Like that's a lot of.
There's times when I've been eating pizza where I'm like, what happened to the other half of that pizza? Like where? I don't remember eating 8 slices of pizza.
Oops, that's not.
I just ate the other night when we were on the phone talking about Pokemon cards. A frozen rising crust pizza with added pepperoni and cheese on top, and I ate the whole pizza.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I don't think I could do a pizza challenge. I was like, I feel full and sick.
I would choose an ice cream challenge.
You think you could eat that much? Can you let it melt and drink it? Because then I think
that seems terrible.
Then I think you can. I mean, think of it. If someone hands you a gallon and your goal is just to house as much ice cream as possible, and you've got gallons, you just let it melt, and you just like. Slurp it down,
You're getting into like the milk challenge. Like, can you drink what's the milk? Isn't it like an hour to drink?
Yeah, you're puking for sure.
I can't do that milk.
I sent you a picture. Pull that picture up.
All right, and then we're at it. Oh man, that doesn't look that big.
No, I can do this. It's got potatoes. I could still do it. I think I could do this. Is there a time limit?
I could definitely eat that.
No.
That looks like a regular
time limit. Oh, I'm crushing this challenge. I'm crushing this challenge and wanting more biscuits and gravy.
Am I looking at the wrong picture?
No, you're not. There's like 3 pancakes, scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, toast, bacon, sausage.
The toast looks like a handle for the pancakes.
But it's on a.
I'm gonna get slack for this. It's the biscuits and gravy that I want to be interested in.
So honestly, the hardest part was the pancakes.
Yeah,
the pancakes were hard to get through.
How much is there a limit to your syrup? Because if you can use unlimited syrup, now you're eating a pancake chili.
Like I feel like it looks.
I really want biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go eat food right now.
I want biscuits and gravy. Donald, is this challenge by you?
It's in Fairmont, so it's like a couple hours away. But I actually think this restaurant closed. I don't think it's open anymore.
That's because everybody housed their food challenge. You put them out of business. Yeah. That's so easy.
Well, they also have
a much better picture.
Yeah,
it's a picture of young you. That's amazing.
Yeah, I actually do have a picture of me with this. I'll have to find it.
That's what Donald used to look like, everybody.
This is all viewers beware. This is before meeting Louis. You see after meeting Louis.
Can you imagine you're this guy and for whatever reason you watch this stupid podcast and you pop up
and see that his picture's up there?
That guy looks like AI. That's an AI photo.
It's definitely not, because this restaurant closed before AI existed.
All right, everybody.
Donald, let's do this challenge together.
Have a great day. Hopefully the rest of your Friday is great, everybody. Go subscribe to Josh's channel over at Hometown TCG. If you want to subscribe to Donald's channel, he doesn't post anymore, but it's Scruffy Looking Gaming. If you want to chat and hang out, go to KitchenTableTCG.com and join the Discord server and pick up some product while you're at it. And remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you too.
Donald.
You got nothing.
You're supposed to say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.